Hi, I'm Bart Hansen. I'm the owner and lead instructor for CrushLivePoker.com. The following hand comes from our call-in show that we record at 4:45 p.m. Pacific Time every Monday. If you want to call in your hand, check out the instructions in the video description.
This is 1-2,
1-2, okay.
300 max buy-in.
300 max, okay. Yep.
Okay, so see, villain here is mid-40s to 50s, quiet white guy.
Mm-hmm.
His standard open to 10, no matter the position or number of limpers. And
Okay.
then a few times he's gone bigger than that and just like bombed the flop no matter what. So there's like a bit of a sizing tell there.
Okay.
And recent history is he cold called. I squeezed out of the small blind, and he like cold called twice. So he called the open, and then he called my squeeze. It was a straddle pot, so it was a pretty big squeeze. And then he just shipped over my C bet with middle set on Jack 8-4. So kind of fast played, strong there.
Okay.
And all right, so the hand is we got two limps to the villain who's in middle position who raises to 10. The cutoff calls, and I am on the button and 3-bet to 45 with ace of hearts, queen of spades. And it folds around to the villain, and only he calls, so we go to the flop heads up.
So you're saying that this guy raises to 10 no matter how many limpers there are, whatever. It's just always
No matter
10.
what position he's in, he raises a 10. Like 2 or 3 times he's raised to like 21 or 23, and it's just like that 3/4 C-bet into the field on, it just seemed like he had a kind of a standard open, and then when he liked stuff, when he had bigger hands, he was just going to make it bigger.
Well, that's what I mean, right? So this is not a bigger hand, right? 2 limps. So this is similar to what we just had happen from the first or second call.
Yeah,
it's not a big hand.
Definitely my read too.
Not a big hand.
Yeah.
All right. So you make it 45 and he calls. All right. So the pot's somewhere probably just under 100. Okay. Ace of hearts, queen of spades on the button. You 3-bet. Okay.
Yep. Pops like 105.
Yep.
So the flop comes Jack of hearts, 5 of diamonds, 3 of spades, and villain checks, and I bet 40, and villain calls.
So you're only 300 effective, right?
And sorry, I didn't give you effective stack. Sorry, villain has about 700 to 800, and I cover.
Okay, and I didn't put 3-bet sizing in. 3-bet to 45. All right, so you're 700 effective. Okay, so 700 effective. You make it 45 pre-flop. He calls. Board comes out. Jack of hearts, 5 of diamonds, 3 of spades. MP1 checks. You bet 40, and he calls. Okay.
Yep.
Whether or not you're always supposed to bet here, you probably can't. I mean, it's rare you're going to get called by worse, right?
Right.
With ace queen, but you're in position. You kind of, I don't know if taking control of the pot is a thing necessarily, but you do have some backdoors. You probably have a better hand advantage. I think we're going to put that into English based upon what's having here pre-flop. So whether that's a reflect, I just think that I would be checking here sometimes too. Like if he's not going to fold any pair in this spot, I might be checking here. And then if you're betting, you could be setting up like just a multiple barrel across certain streets. You know what I mean? So you bet 40 and he calls. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Turn the king of hearts rolls off.
Pretty good card for you.
Pretty great card, yeah. Villain checks again.
Yeah.
I bet 145.
All right.
Into a pot. I think we're up to 185.
You bet 145 into a pot of about 180, right? Something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I mean, if you started, and you have the ace of hearts in your hand here too, so if you started a bet on the flop, which I still think that we probably should be checking a fair amount, this is a great turn card for you with the ace of hearts. You turn a gutter. It's really hard for him to call. If you have the ace of hearts in your hand, he can't pick up the nut flush draw. Also, too, theoretically, if you're going to make this bet, you can easily run a bluff across a heart river. This should win you the pot the vast majority of the time. I don't know if you have to see. This is an interesting sizing here on the turn, because there's usually like 2 sizings. Sometimes there's like a little bit of a smaller half pot sizing here, and then sometimes like there's an overbet sizing as well. Um, King Jack is a possibility that somebody could have, as opposed to like a card that changes nothing. Like it's a little bit hard on Jack 5-3 because if he's going to piece off with pocket pairs like sevens or eights, like if a 7 or 8 were to come in, it's possible because he was going to call with those hands. But if the turn was just the card that a guy couldn't really improve with, but here someone could improve to King Jack, so you don't necessarily always get to overbet the stuff from what I've learned. But this sizing should win you the thing the vast majority of the time. So you bet 145.
Yeah, and he thinks about it for a little bit and makes the call, which I didn't like. I would have liked to win it there. And the 8 of diamonds comes on the river now.
Okay, so 145 and a call means that the pot is about 380-ish, something like that, right? 290. No, actually, let's see here. 4,500, 180, and 300. Yeah, 480-ish. Okay.
Yep, 480-ish.
Yep.
Okay.
So Jack of Hearts, 5 of Diamonds, 3 of Spades, King of Hearts. He opened over 2 limps to 10. You 3-bet to 45 on the button. He called. Flop came out Jack 5-3 Rainbow. Check 40. He calls. Turn King of Hearts. Check 145. He calls. 480 in the pot. River 8 of Diamonds. I'm assuming he checks now.
Yep, he does check, and this is where I thought about how he played that other hand where he had the set and went pretty fast with it.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was kind of thinking like, wow, what hands do I get here? And I was like, well, probably ace queen is, I don't know, how do you say it? You're my best worst hand or something like that. But I bet 300 on the end. Fire the third barrel.
I mean, it's a 3-bet pot, so people are going to usually piece off or fold a lot when the pot gets large. And usually in a 3-bet pot, people think that you have ace king quite a bit. I think it's probably very optimistic to think that this guy is just holding on with a jack here when he arrives at the end, right? And the interesting thing about the way that your hand interacts is that if you didn't have the ace of hearts here, it actually might be better for you because you actually might want to try to bluff him off some, I guess it's only a couple combos, but if you had like ace 4, ace deuce of hearts, ace 5 of hearts, ace 3 of hearts, those are hands that can continue on the turn with a backdoor heart draw.
I thought about that.
He can't have that, though. So it's actually worse for you. So he doesn't have those hands, although you beat some of those hands anyways. The ace 5 and the ace 3 would be the only one that you wouldn't beat. But, this would have to be like, all right, well, the guy's going to call the turn with a jack and now fold to a river bet of 300. And does that make sense here? Like, what do you think he has here at the end?
I thought he could have been holding on with a jack. Thought he could have been holding on with pocket 10s or 9s.
Yeah, but again, is he going to hold on with the jack, pocket 10s or pocket 9s to your turn bet and now fold the river for 300?
I was hoping.
Okay. I mean,
yeah, right. I would think so because it's just a big bet, and I don't know.
I understand. It's an absolute big bet, right? Like I just think that people are going to fold off a jack a lot on the turn and things like that. I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me here if he ends up with a hand that's much, much stronger than one pair. What ended up happening? You bet 300.
He did not think for very long and called and turned over ace king.
And by the way, ace king is actually what I just said about it. It wouldn't surprise me if he turns over a hand that's better than one pair. And follow me when I say this. Ace king in essence is better than one pair here. Do you see what I'm saying? Like in essence,
Sure, yeah,
it is what you are. It's the top part of what you are representing besides aces. So it doesn't surprise me, right? It's very hard for
yeah,
him to arrive on the turn with just with a naked king that's not ace king. So I think what you
right.
can take away from this is that once he calls the turn, I don't know if I'm going to be bluffing at the end because I think that players at this level are going to be fairly strong when they call that king turn. But anyways, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Hey guys, if you like what you've seen here, please click on the subscribe button and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. And if you want to check out crushlivepoker.com for the first month free, use the code YTA200. Click on the link right there.